hold on. So what are you gonna do? Can I re-ask my question from yesterday? So what are you gonna do? And I don't understand. I mean, I saw that some people wrote, oh, US says it's going to take measures to, if the Taliban doesn't reverse these decisions. But what measures have you taken, or are you gonna take? And you haven't taken any, even though they've done these offensive things that you said, going back more than a month now. So what exactly are you gonna do, and why should anyone believe you when you say we're going to punish the Taliban, or we're going to take steps to make our disapproval clear?
First, Matt, we have led the world, as you know, in providing humanitarian relief and humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. So I think our credibility when it comes to the concern of when it comes to the humanitarian concerns of the Afghan people, I think we have established our leadership on that.
Did the United States lead the world in withdrawing from Afghanistan and allowing the Taliban to take control again?
Matt?
Yes or no? Yes, right? I mean, you can't deny that, can you?
I would absolutely reject the premise of the question that the United States allowed the Taliban to take the capital. And Matt, we can relitigate questions that have been litigated for the past 20 years about an investment that we have made in a country, including with treasure and, more importantly, bloodshed on the part of this country, and the assessment of this president that the presence of some 2,500 troops who would once again be involved in a civil war, who would be targeted, who would have a target on their back, not only by the Taliban, but also by elements like ISIS-K, a 2,500 strong contingent that would not, in the end, would have been able to prevent the Taliban or any larger force from coming to power. So you can argue with the decision that the president made to withdraw militarily from Afghanistan. We are confident in that decision. We know what's in our national interest. We also know what we can accomplish without having a contingent of military deployment on foreign soil. And that's what we're trying to do with our humanitarian assistance. The humanitarian assistance that we have provided to the people of Afghanistan since August of last year has led the world, just as our provision of humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan prior to August of last year has led the world.
Has also said that human rights is its number one, or one of its top priorities in terms of foreign policy.
Central to our foreign policy.
Exactly. Doesn't seem to be so central here.
It is central. It is.
And then,
Matt, but you seem to be accusing us of what the Taliban is doing to the people of Afghanistan.
No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm asking you what you're doing to.
And I am telling you, we are doing
this, or to show your displeasure, other than coming out with saying it, writing a nasty letter.
I can assure you, we are doing more than saying it. We are.
Okay. There's been a lot of talk about reopening the embassy in Kyiv. Is there any discussion about sending people back to Kabul?
I am not aware of any discussion right now about reopening the embassy in Kabul.
Is it your belief, though, that Kabul is a war zone in the same way that Kyiv?
There are a couple elements we look at. Safety and security is always at the top of that list. We also look at the propriety of what is appropriate in terms of diplomatic representation, whether it's in Afghanistan, whether it's.
One of the things, are you saying that one of the things you are doing to show your displeasure with the Taliban is not reopening the embassy?
What I'm saying is that we are not in a position to reopen the embassy. There are a number of factors that go into that. Safety and security is, of course, one. But also, we take a look at the propriety of diplomatic representation around the world. Our point is that we will judge the Taliban and any future relationship we might one day have with the Taliban based on their conduct, based on their willingness to live up to the public commitments they've made to the world. First and foremost is human rights, protecting the rights of the Afghan people, including its women, its girls, its minorities, living up to its counterterrorism commitments, living up to the fact that no entity should be holding an American hostage. We've discussed, of course, the case of Mark Frerichs. We'll continue to work to secure his freedom. There are a number of elements that go into any relationship we might one day have with the Taliban, but I can assure you that human rights is central to that list. Yes?
Can we move to U.S. ASEAN Special Summit?
Sure.
Yeah, so how on US ASEAN Special Summit, especially on Myanmar or Burma, how does the United States plan to work with ASEAN to hold the military junta further accountable for the coup and the violence afterwards?
Well, we support ASEAN's decision to invite non-political representatives from Burma to high-level ASEAN events. Absent progress on the ASEAN 5-point consensus that was put forward, we will follow ASEAN's precedent for the upcoming US-ASEAN